Hi, fans, or AIOs, or motherboards, or whatever you are. You're all robots out there, right? It seems like it more and more. We're getting a lot of deep fakes. We're getting AIs that are so smart that they can make videos look like it's real people. In fact, sometimes you don't know the difference. And as I've warned before, this is a problem. But that's not what this video is about. This video is about my need for some help. Okay, as you probably know, I had a problem with Amazon terminating me after making false accusations against me, so they wouldn't have to pay me short-term disability while I'm healing from my shoulder surgery. Now, I know you're saying, what shoulder surgery? Well, that's the scar right there. And I had that. They did it 5 days before my surgery. And they were very, very sneaky about how they did it, which is how Amazon operates. But that's beside the point. The point is that for my testing, for my AIOs and my air coolers, I would like to be able to have testing done on both my Intel computer right here, as well as my AMD computer, which you don't see over here because I don't have one. But I have done some research and given some consideration to which choices I should make. I consulted some people I know, and so these are the things that I'm going to be purchasing to build it. Now, the first of all, of course, when you make a build, you should look at the CPU you want to buy. That's probably the best choice. The second best choice would be to start with the motherboard. Either way, I want the AMD 7900X. Why? Well, it's a hot processor. It produces a lot more heat than some of the other CPUs that are actually better than the 7900X. Yeah, I know. I would love to have the top 7900X 3D or one of the other new ones that are even better, but I need something hot. I don't really want to have to fiddle with overclocking if I can avoid it, because it's not something I'm particularly knowledgeable about. So I'm getting this one. Drawbacks, yeah, but I'm getting it for the purpose of testing. Now, that's going to cost about $365 based on my research last week. The second thing is I want to get an offset mount to replace the default ILM that comes with the motherboard. And that'll cost somewhere in the range of $5 to $25, maybe more if I went with Thermal Grizzly. But it will help to make sure that the cooler is in correct contact with the IHS of the CPU. The IHS is the top surface of the CPU where you put your cold plate of your cooler. And that is that. So the next thing is the motherboard. So I would be looking for an ATX motherboard, either a B or an X with AM5, obviously, because the 7900X is AM5. And then for the graphics card, I'm going to save a lot of money here because the motherboard could range from $200 to $700, or will range from $200 to $700. And I should point out that for the motherboard, I do want to make sure that it has a robust array of features and functions. So I'm not going to be looking for something with two M.2 slots, and I'm going to be looking for something that's very robust, so it's easy to expand it in the future if there is a need for such a thing. So for the graphics card, I will be going with the Intel Battlemage B580. And I realize that for some people, this doesn't really make sense, but consider this. Number one, I'm trying to save money. Number two, the Battlemage B580 has demonstrated that for the price range that it's in, it's really a very good card. And I don't need bleeding edge or even cutting edge technology like the newest graphics cards. I can't even justify getting a new NVIDIA. I mean, I already did a video on graphics cards. Why would I get something that I can't justify? Now, the next thing is storage. So for the storage, for Windows, I'm going to use graphics card. The Intel Battle Mage starts at around $250, $270, goes up over $300. So the 1 terabyte M.2 PCIe Gen 4x4 NVMe SSD for Windows costs somewhere between normally $51 to $240. I'm not going to go for the super cheap no-name brands like that you see a lot on Newegg and probably some other sites. I've seen a lot of those on Temu, and also if I were actually shopping on Amazon, which I'm not, I probably would see them there as well, because Amazon more and more has gotten in bed with a lot of Chinese vendors. Now, I would also need a second drive for storage so that Windows doesn't get bogged down, trying to maximize the performance of the operating system so there's not a huge impact on the results. So I would need a 2 terabyte or larger M.2 PCIe Gen 4x4 NVMe SSD, and that would be also where I would be installing programs. So I'm not going to have programs interfering with Windows on the 1 terabyte one, so I'll put them on the 2 terabyte one. And that'll cost $150 to $330. Maybe less if I get fortunate, but I'm not going to be going for the no-name brands or brands that I can't verify the reliability of, or models for that matter. Next, the power supply. I need something in the range of probably 700 to 900 watts in order to have enough headroom to make sure that the optimum range will be used. I think that probably closer to 900 would be better because that gives additional headroom, but I think I can squeak by with 700 if necessary. Next is memory. The RAM should be DDR5, of course, and I'm going to go with 32 gigabytes, 2x16, 6,000 megahertz CL of CAS latency of 30. I know that there are other specifications after CL, but there's so much variance, to peg it down. I'm just going to be looking at all those specs in that category and saying, okay, which is the best that I can afford to get. There's a wide array of prices on memory from $70 to $600. And then, of course, for fans, I don't have to worry about it. Now, the last thing to talk about is cases. So I have a choice of cases. I prefer to go with one of my large cases because I'm going to be in there again and again and again. So I'm not really going to look at my smaller cases, nor am I going to use my Corsair 5000X, which I found awkward to work in. If you've been paying attention, you know I also have the Leon Lee SUP-01 and the 011 Dynamic, neither of which are suitable. The Montec King 95, also not suitable, as are all these other ones. The Kami's Kingdom Classico Storage Master, which also goes under other brand names, such as Dark Rock. It's sold by the manufacturer to various brands, and then they go ahead and they brand it with their name and sell it, usually fairly cheaply. And it's a decent case, but it isn't easy to work in either. The Zalman i4, the Cooler Master Cube 500 Macaron flat pack, which I really, really wanted to use because it is so easy to build in. It's so versatile. Unfortunately, it doesn't have certain features that I need. And the DIY PC DIY S08G. But again, all of these have issues, or challenges rather, due to size, missing components, missing features, and or the ease of working in it frequently. Most of them are not easy to work in frequently. So unless another valid case falls into my lap, which I don't see manufacturers rushing to provide me with cases other than Silverstone. So I have the Antec P20C and the Silverstone Sita A2. Both are excellent choices and each has special benefits. It's hard for me to choose. So what I'll do is whoever is the number one donor to help me to get this AMD computer built will choose. Now, I will let you know if there are other cases that come into my possession that would qualify for being used for this purpose. But again, unless some manufacturers step up and start sending me easy to build in cases, those are currently the only choices I've got. And since I emailed dozens and dozens of case makers late last year and only Silverstone responded, yeah, it's not looking likely, especially since my audience is so small. Whoever the top donor is, please make sure to carefully consider my needs in building within the case when you choose between the P20C and the CETA A2. If you have any questions, you can always ask me. And of course, please, you look at the reviews that I did of those two cases. So the total ranges from about $1,161 to $3,150. I'm not expecting to get $2,000 in donations, so those really expensive items are a no-go. And the B580 will save a lot of money, plus I have the case and fans. I'm pretty sure I can get all that stuff, decent quality, for the minimum. Realistically, however, it'd be closer to $1,500, I'd guess. If I catch a sale or two, it could be even less than the minimum, though. So that's the target goal for buying the parts for this build. Please spread the news and help me raise the money to build this PC. You can donate that money to me via my channel, Glenn's Fast Reviews, or you can go to patreon.com/GLENNMII. Thanks. And if you have any questions, please put them down below. Need to ask for your help. I'm sorry. On December 11th, 2024, Amazon terminated me and used false accusations against me. And on December 17th, I had my left shoulder operated on. I'm getting a lot better. I can do some things with my hand and my arm, but it's still pretty limited. If you could please help me out by liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, and turning on notifications for my channels, that would really help. If you want to help me financially and you can afford to, you can go to my Glenn's Fast Reviews and you can do a super thanks as a donation there. If you want to donate on a monthly basis, you can become a member there. And or you can go to patreon.com/GLENNMII. So thank you for that. Also, I'd like to say thank you to bleepingcomputer.com for allowing me to post messages on their forum about my videos. Thank you so much. And don't forget to visit them. They offer a lot of wonderful resources for people who are using computers. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.